My name is Alex, and this is a great Black Ops commentary.
What's happening, guys? And I'm sorry if you can hear it in the background, but my Bulgarian parents had a little bit too much vodka to drink, and they're probably beating my brothers, and I don't know where that accent came from. So if you hear some screaming and screeching in the background, that's probably my two little brothers being beaten to death. Anyway, I'm bringing you guys a commentary that I haven't done in a long time, and this is another life story. So many of you guys might know that I'm actually Bulgarian, and I live in the U.S. now, but every summer my family and I would go back to Bulgaria, and we'd go to see a bunch of our friends and our family that we haven't seen in the past year, and it's usually a ton of fun. But before getting too much into the story, I should probably explain further. Bulgaria is kind of a country that has a lot of different parts to it. Like, we have pretty much everything. We have the beaches, we have the urbanized areas where a lot of, civilized people live in. And then we also have the kind of the rural villages where a lot of farmers live in, and a lot of people, they're not very, it's hard to explain. I guess the best way to describe it is, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Borat. Maybe a couple of you guys are a little bit young to see that movie. But basically, it's a bunch of Borats living in that village. But anyway, it's still home, and it's still a beautiful country. And my grandparents have a small house in that village. It's right outside the capital, Sofia. And whenever we go there, we'd sometimes go to the house and we'd chill out. I see a lot of people that are in the nearby villages. We'd hang out, play soccer, and do stupid shit. And in this particular instance, I think we were 13. And like I said, it was the summer, and it was pretty hot outside. And, a bunch of us are outside playing soccer or whatever. And this one douchebag kid, I still remember his name to this day. It was Vladi Petkov. He had a big nose, and he had one of those early mustaches that really made him look like a terrorist. It was pretty disgusting. But like I said, every living, breathing bone in this kid's body screamed, "Douchebag!" But anyway, he walks over looking like an Oompa Loompa, and he's just standing there with a huge smirk on his face. And we go over there and we're like, "Why the hell are you smiling?" And he says, for his birthday, his nice, innocent grandma gave him like $20, to go buy some new jeans or like a gay porn magazine, but I'm not judging. But he pulls out the money, and he says he's going to treat us all. And in these small Bulgarian villages, I'm pretty aware a lot of you know that there's not much regulation. So this 13-year-old kid walks in with money and pretty much buys alcohol. And he bought these huge 2-liter bottles of beer. And he says he wants to go celebrate. And about a half a mile right outside the village, the government started building this school, but midway through construction, they figured out that there was like an underwater river system going on, and they just couldn't continue building it. So they stopped, and for some reason they couldn't destroy it, so they just left half a construction building there. And it was pretty much the place everybody just goes to put graffiti on there, or smoke cigarettes and weed or drink or whatever. And we, the idiotic 13-year-olds, decide to go over there and basically watch this kid get drunk as hell. How bad could it be, right? And by the way, I should point out that I don't drink or smoke or anything like that, but I do have one major flaw. And that is, when I'm with a group of kids, I like to be the badass. I am very easily peer pressured into things, and every time something comes up and they're like, "I dare you can't do this," bitch, please, I could do anything. It probably has a lot to do with my insecurity and my parents beating me every other day and my constant strive for popularity, but those are some personal issues I don't want to discuss. And so anyway, we get to this old abandoned construction building, and these kids have the beer with them, they have the alcohol, and I think they also brought some spray paint or some spray cans so they can, do some little graffiti on the walls or something. And the naive kid that I am, I'm thinking, I'm going to go over there and laugh at some kids just, drinking and doing stupid shit. And so, they start doing what they're doing, and one of them yells out, "Hey, Alex, I bet you can't drink this entire beer bottle." Now, just to give you a perspective, 2 liters is about as big as a big-sized Coke bottle. And filled with beer, that's a lot of alcohol. And considering the fact that I'm 13, that's like triple the effect. And at first I'm like, no, my grandparents will smell it out of my breath, I really shouldn't do so. And then the one kid, he has to scream out and call me a raging cuntosaurus who needs his mom to hold his dick when he takes a piss. Oh, no. I have my dad hold my dick when I take a piss. No one crosses that line. Anyway, so I take the bottle and I start drinking it, and I get about halfway through, and I'm feeling a little bit loopy at this point. But somebody's going like, chug, chug, and of course I have to take in more. So I chug the rest, and towards the end I am, like falling all over the place. I look like an idiot, and I'm about to puke at this point, and I'm just looping everywhere around this building. And on top of that, there's this other kid in the background with spray paint just like spraying it everywhere. And if you guys didn't know, there's this chemical and like magic markers and Sharpies and spray paint where you can literally get high off this stuff. And so I actually take in too much, and I get high off of spray paint by accident. Anyway, I'm swinging all over the place. I look like a lunatic, and one thing comes to the next. This building, like I said, is unfinished, and we're kind of on a high level. And I start looping, and somebody loses sight of me, and one kid yells, "Look out!" And before I could catch myself, I end up like walking backwards and falling right off the edge, and I literally end up falling like a good 20 feet. And I was pretty much okay, but I did break my ankle, and I couldn't really feel the pain because I was drunk and I was high, and it was a bad thing. But after a couple seconds, I realized what actually happened, and I start screaming in pain, and everybody looks down and they think like I broke my neck or something, and so they're all scared. And I'm thinking I got some real good friends. They're gonna pick me up. They're gonna carry me down to a hospital. No, all of them to the last start running, and I mean sprinting. I guess I could understand how if something like that happens, they could be scared, but god damn it, don't leave me there. And so after about like 15 minutes of just standing there and yelling, somebody help, I start getting the feeling that nobody's really gonna help. And so I get up and I start limping, and like I said, it's about a half a mile down back to the village, back to my house. And on the way back, I'm just thinking, how much worse can this get? I'm going to get in a ton of trouble. I have a broken ankle. I am drunk as hell. This can't get any worse. And here is where I'm wrong again. It's dark. It's starting to get a little bit chilly. Wind is blowing in my face. And all of a sudden, it starts pouring. And I finally make it back to the house. I walk through the front door. I'm soaking wet. I'm high. I'm loopy. I'm drunk. I have a broken ankle. I literally look like that thing from Lord of the Rings. I can't remember its name, but it just yells, "My precious." I mean, I look like I'm about to murder someone. And my grandma comes up to me. She's almost in tears. She realizes what's happening. And the first thing she does is she smacks me. She doesn't even give me the respect of the front of her hand. She doesn't say anything. She just backhand smacks me right across the face. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you're going to take away anything from this, let it be that breaking your ankle really hurts. And your friends are douchebags. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. Like I said earlier, I'm not one of those guys that ever gets drunk or high. And honestly, this was like a freak accident, except it was on purpose. Yeah, but like I said, I'll probably never repeat anything like that again because it was probably one of the worst things that ever happened to me. But you know what? You live and you learn. I didn't even realize it was happening before it actually happened, but I still think it was a pretty funny story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, if you're watching this on my channel and this gets 1,500 likes, I will post a video of my face. And if you're watching this on another channel, make sure to come and subscribe for more videos like this. It's youtube.com/ixlegacyxi. Yes, it's a very weird YouTube name. But anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.